Assalamu alaikum and peace. Rainy day outside. Welcome back. This is Bilal Abdullah, a black Muslim in America. Thank you for tuning back in. I'm gonna make this one real quick and real sweet and short and to the point. Yeah, man. They're trying to lock the Warriors up. They're trying to get cases put on Warriors because I noticed that recently Tariq he called out his suspicion about Grandmaster Jay of this group out there of the NFAC, and he said he suspects him of being an agent. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but toot. I said this a while ago. I put it on my Twitter page. I said I don't know about this dude. I'm side eyeing him, and I remember putting it on a comment of one of Jason Black's videos where he was talking about the one that got deleted, where he was talking about Nick Cannon. I put a comment on there, but then the video got deleted. So I've been saying the same thing. Like I'm side eyeing this dude. And so Tariq just put it out there, and that confirmed it for me. He has the bigger platform, and that's great. So he put it out there, and he told the people to be on alert of this person, and that was great because I felt the same way. And just off top, what made me feel that way was just because the vibe I got. Like, I've been listening to a lot of Quran lately, and that's not to brag in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I'm a sinner just like you, but I've been listening to a lot of Quran lately. I've tried to listen to at least a juz a day. A juz are different parts of the Quran. It's broken down into 30 different juz, Juz, and these 30 different juz, you could either recite them or play them and listen to them. And you could do one for each day, so that every month, basically, you're listening to the whole Quran every month. And I was checking out Imran Hussein, and he was talking about how he recites a juz every day. And I was like, well, shoot, since I haven't memorized the whole Quran. I memorized, a good amount. But since I haven't memorized the whole Quran, let me just play the juz every day. Let me listen to this juz every day and play it. And that will suffice, and I'll just keep listening to it over and over again. 30 days, 30 juz, 30 days. Every month I'm listening to the whole Quran. So one of the first things I did, I used to, when I first became Muslim. Now this is going to be long, but rock with me, y'all. When I first became Muslim, I used to read the Quran over and over and over and over and over again. As soon as I would finish it, I would start reading it back again. As soon as I would finish it, I would start reading it back again. I did that for about a good 2-3 years, maybe 5, to the point where it got to where, like, it was like a Rolodex in my mind. I'm always constantly thinking of verses when I'm looking at life. Something happens during the day. Somebody says something happens in the news. I was constantly thinking about the Quran and the answers that the Quran would give. And that benefited me. That benefited me on how I lived my life and how I reflected on things. And then recently, I would say at the beginning of last year, I said, okay, I've been reading the Quran over and over and over. I memorized a good decent amount of surahs, of chapters. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the whole tafsir of Ibn Kathir. And that was a long task, but I finished that. I think I finished it earlier this year, because I think last year I started it and I would just read here and there, and I think earlier this year in January I finally finished it. So alhamdulillah, I did that as well. But the reason I'm saying all this is because the Prophet has told us about the firasa of the believer. The firasa is something that a believer has, and that he sees with the light of Allah. Allah allows him to see through the bullcrap, to see through the smoke screens, to see directly to the heart of a matter, to the point where You can look into a man's eyes and tell he's not a trustworthy person. You can look into a man's eyes and see that he might be a criminal. You can feel a whole vibe about somebody, and these are the type of things that the Firasa is. So me listening to the Quran constantly, I've noticed that my Firasa has increased. I would say things within myself, and I wouldn't tell nobody because I didn't want to look stupid if I was wrong. But I would say things within myself and like, man, I think this is going to happen. I don't trust this person. He looks like such and such. And it would be about, different people. Certain things I would put out there, certain things I would just keep to myself. And it would eventually become, wow, I was right about that. And they would just keep happening. So I noticed that listening to the Quran over and over increases my firasa. And I would encourage you all to listen to the Quran constantly too. Now, results may vary, but I that's what I've noticed. I've also noticed in my lifetime that when I become more pious, or I let go of more sins that I have, my firasa increases as well. And that's something we could all do better at too. But I said all that because that relates to what I'm talking about the whole vibe I was getting from this dude, Grandmaster Jay. He would always come on and he's wearing dark shades all the time. You're not Morpheus, nigga. You're not, like, he's always wearing dark shades. That thing to me was a red flag off Tizo, because that's what feds do. They come knock on your door with them black Ray-Bans and want to talk to you and ask you questions. And then once people started talking about how he never shows his eyes and he never shows his soul because your eyes are the windows to the soul, then he finally started taking off his shades every once in a while. But then when I looked into his eyes, and this is another thing that I feel Allah has given me a gift of, alhamdulillah, is that if I'm around a person and I look into their eyes and I'm around them enough, I can really get a good vibe off of somebody. And when I'm looking into this dude's eyes, I just don't feel right. I feel prison bars being closed. Something don't feel right. I feel white vans pulling up. That's what I feel. So this dude, he's online talking real reckless. Tariq mentions this. He's online just talking real reckless, and nobody's saying anything about it. You're not even hearing the media talk about it. If you got a Negro out here talking reckless like that, you gonna have some people on your head. People gonna start paying attention. Even when they went down to where Ahmed Arbery got killed and murdered, they got a little media attention off of that, but they gave him the wrong name and they didn't even want to bring him up. They didn't even want to bring the leader up. And that's something that's very suspicious. They never bring him up. It's always the group that they bring up, but they never bring up the leader. And they call them different names. They call them the New Black Panthers. They call them militia groups. So this is very weird. And in one of his videos, the dude is talking about how Iran and Bangladesh and Pakistan want to send him help. Dog. That's when I knew right there. I'm like, nah, this dude, that's some Asian stuff. He trying to get cases on boys. Why? And then on top of that, before he said that egregious statement, which is such a red flag that would have feds. If I said that stuff on my YouTube page that only has 89, 90 subscribers, if I said that stuff on my page about some Bangladesh wants to send help, Pakistan wants to send help to the black Muslims in America, fool, I would have feds at my door as soon as I upload that video. They'd be ready to ask me questions. So how does he get to say this? But even before that, what made me suspicious again was that he's making all these videos and talking about the NFAC. And I'm like, wow, he's talking real strong. It sounds good. It sounds good. Sorry, that's my chair in the background, y'all. That wasn't what you thought it was. That was my chair. But it sounds good. But he's asking everybody to send him their information. Your name, your location. I don't know you, dude. Why am I sending you all my information? That's not how we move in these streets. That was very weird as well. And he was always wishy-washy with what he wanted to do. One day he was telling everybody, if you really down with this movement, then send me your information, send me your location, send me your cases and issues you have with guns and issues, and also change your profile icon to the NFAC logo. Do that now if you really down. If you don't change yourself to the NFAC logo, then we gonna kick you out of this chat room. So everybody started changing their stuff to the NFAC logo. And then after the uprising started popping off, and he was talking about how he gonna come down to certain cities and areas, and you better beat us there, not meet us there. If you really want to join in person, then beat us there, don't meet us there. He was saying all of this, talking strong. But then once the uprising started popping off and the streets got hot, then all of a sudden he came on live talking about, oh man, I might have misjudged, man. Y'all not ready to do this. Man, y'all not ready at all. You know, take the NFAC logos down because there is too many trolls in here. So we don't know who's who. We need to see your real picture. Now show your real picture. Now after you giving all your information to him, now he wants to see your real picture. If you're not going to put a real picture up, then nope, you got to be out of here. Wishy-washiness. In one of his lives, he's talking about how he literally said, I'm going to walk you guys off a cliff. I'm going to walk you off that cliff. And people know, if you follow him, people know that he said that. It's just too much agent stuff going on. Tariq also called out how he used to want to be a presidential candidate. He was a presidential candidate. Once I heard that, because I heard that even before Tariq called it out. Once I heard him talking about being a presidential candidate, I'm like, oh no, this nigga ain't about nothing. He's an agent off top. We know about them presidential candidates. You can't be a president unless you down. Unless you down with with them people. You can't do it. They either got to have something on you, or you got to be in one of their little clubs and, fraternities or whatever, or you not going to make it, brother. You can run independent all you want. You're not going to make it. So that let me know he knows how to talk like a politician. He knows how to use words. Like the prophet said, some people's speech is like magic. He knows how to use his words like a magician. And he bragged on that in one of his videos as well, that he did an interview with some guy from like a hip hop channel. He said he knows how to use his words, and he says politicians use 2 truths and 1 lie in their statements, and I do the same thing. So you're saying you do 2 truths and 1 lie? What's going on? Another thing that made him suspicious to me, as he started gaining traction and popularity, he's not coming to the real black media and saying, hey, can I get an interview with you guys and talk to you guys? You know why? Because he smells like pork. He smells like a Ray-Bans case. That's what he smells like. He smells like when you put your Ray-Bans inside the glasses case. He smells like the glasses case. He smells like Ray-Bans. He smells like pork. You know what that means. That's why he ain't come to the real black media. He didn't come to Tariq. He didn't come to Jason. He didn't come to PBT. He didn't come to any of these other people who really talk real stuff and are really on code about what they're speaking about. He didn't come to any of these people. He went to people like Roland Martin. The dude who isn't even a foundational black American, and he just be talking out his butt about everything. And after he goes on Roland Martin, then he goes to Michi X. What? I don't listen to Michi X. I don't rock with her. She's a loudmouth, wide back, light-skinned chick who, like, no. Why are you going to her? And you went to her because people like that are just easily moved by rah-rah talk. Michi X is like an obese version of Cynthia G, Synthetic G. That's what she's like, an obese version of. So, and you see all these people coming out and hating on the real black media who really on code and talking about things. You see them coming out and hating. So when people started calling out the leader, GMJ, Grandmaster Jay, about these things and him possibly being an agent. Then it became, man, y'all just hating. Y'all just be hating, man. That's what it became. Y'all don't really want to do nothing. No, people aren't hating. They're just not stupid. It's that simple. This dude, Grandmaster Jay, when he went down and he had a rally about the whole Breonna Taylor thing, and we still don't know what happened with the killers. We don't know what they're going to get let off or not or whatever. They're probably going to try to wait till this whole thing blows over. But he went down there and had a rally with all his people with their guns and everything. And he talking about something, well, if we don't get no answers, we going to come back and do this, that, and the other. Who does that? And he's saying all these things and he's getting no news media. Nobody's talking about him. That's very, very suspicious. And it's like, it's like Biggie said, real G's move in silence and violence. You don't need to be telegraphing everything you're going to do. That is putting authorities on alert. If you're a group that's about self-defense and you want to make a show of force here and there, okay. I can understand that. Everybody has a Second Right Amendment to, brandish their weapons. Okay. But there's no need to talk. If you're about self-defense and defending your people from oppression, then there's no need to keep talking. Just handle what you need to handle. If that's what you're about. All that rah-rah talk is just helping you to slip up and say something dumb that you probably didn't even mean to say, but you so enthralled in your emotions that you say some dumb stuff out the side of your neck, and now you got a case put on you because you just keep trying to talk rah-rah and talk loud. You're incriminating yourself because you want to keep being all gangster in your talkings. No. If you're a group about self-defense, then be about self-defense and be quiet. That's it. If you want to make a show here and there of your weapons and a force, okay, then do that. You have a right to do that. But other than that, be quiet. There's no reason to keep doing that, because what you're doing is you're about to get cases put on everybody in your clique. That's what you're about to do, and that's what I think he's planned to do. It's all about, at the beginning of this, I said, they trying to lock all the warriors up. It's people out there who have good intentions in their heart. They're not out here trying to hurt innocent people. They're not out here trying to harm innocent people, but they want to protect and defend their people who are being oppressed. They have good intentions. So they click up with groups like this, give their information to him, go do the marches with them. They're screaming and chanting and cheering him on when he says these incriminating type things. And then they get cases put on them when that wasn't even their intention. Now they become a terrorist group. That's what's going to happen. Eventually, they're going to get some attention and they're going to be called a terrorist group. And I feel that also he's put out there so that they can have an excuse for this black identity extremist label. They're going to keep letting him pick up steam, and then he's going to blow up in the newspaper. And then it's going to be put on that group, the black identity extremist label. And then it's going to come into taking down the group. Nothing's probably going to happen to him. He might get locked up and then get let out on the low. But what's going to happen is that whole group is going to get taken down because of the leader talking some rah-rah stuff that was self-incriminating. That's what I think is going to happen. It's all about locking the warriors up. So you got people out here who with good intentions, like I said, they don't want to harm people. They don't want to hurt innocent people. They just want to defend their people. And so because of that, they get with these shady groups and now they got a case put on them. So you got to be careful who you following and who you listening to and who you running behind and joining up with, because people that talk a lot might not do nothing. It's always the one who talks the most, who the most scared. It's always the one who talks the most gangster who ain't gonna bust a grape in the fruit fight. And I'm not saying I'm gangster at all either. I'm just saying that's usually what it is. It's usually that quiet dude in the back of the class who don't bother nobody, that if you say something crazy to him or try to put your hand on him, he gonna break your arm in self-defense. That's the ones who really be about that, doing what they talking about. So there's no need to talk about what you're going to do. You're alerting the enemy. And then he says in one of his other recent videos, he says, well, the Boogaloo boys wanted to click up with us, and I told them that, well, I told them what Malcolm X said. You can't join, but you can help. And I don't know how you're going to help us because we got so much stuff, but... And then people talking about, you need to hear the whole daggone video. You need to hear the whole daggone video. That little part right there lets you know that something's not right. Why are you even letting white supremacist cliques even help you? Or even saying that they can help you. Even letting them be around you. All these white supremacist groups are doing is getting intel on you. That's all they're doing. And you're putting out there where you're going to be and what you're going to do. So now they're getting intel on you. When y'all went to Stone Mountain, which was a good show of force. When y'all went to Stone Mountain, they didn't come out there. They just watched you on social media. Oh, that's who they are? Okay. Okay, I see him. That's who their leader is? Okay. They just sitting back watching you. And now that they know who you are, what your group is about, now they're sending out their spies. So now they're going to say, well, we're not a racist group. We just want to walk with y'all too because we're a part of the same mentality. We want justice too. So now you have, even with the whole Black Lives Matter stuff, they have these white militia groups out there walking with them too and saying they're not racist and they're just about freedom too. No, they're gaining intel on all of these things. So you should not be inviting them to help or be around us. That was very suspicious. So all of these things, like I was saying, it's just like with the whole terrorist stuff that they did back in the day. They would set up the government would set up these little fake terrorist groups. And then they would have some charismatic leader come out and talk trash and talk all the rah-rah. And then those Muslims here or around the globe who had good intentions to defend Muslims, but they went about it the wrong way. They went and joined some terrorist group, and now, you know, they hit in the game. They stuck in the game. That's the same thing. Now they're just bringing it down to the black people and the black communities. Now they're saying, okay, well, if we can do that with these terrorists, quote unquote, then we could do that with the black people and create our own leader, because they're realizing that they can't do the whole John Lewis thing anymore. John Lewis, he was all about, you know, getting in the good twabba. They realize they can't do that no more. Black people are waking up that stuff don't work. We have to be about ourselves and self-defense and, you know, self-empowerment. So they're realizing that the whole John Lewis thing don't work. So now they need a different type of agent. They need the Malcolm X agent. That's what they need. Agent X. That's what they need. So they've put him out here to be Agent X. So now they can say, well, you guys are a terrorist group and we got to lock all you up. So definitely black people we should be focusing on self-defense. We should be focusing on getting our Second Amendment game up. We should be focusing on economic empowerment, all of these things. Anything else don't really need to be talked about. Like I said, I understand sometimes you want to give a show of force. That's cool. Showing the people that, you know, you are armed and you're willing to protect yourselves. That's cool. But when you're adding all that, hey, feds, please come and investigate me and lock me up. When you're adding that type of talk to your stuff, no, that is unnecessary and dangerous, because you're trying to get an emotional reaction and you're going to say something that you shouldn't say, like I said, and you're going to get yourself in some trouble. And this is telegraphing your moves and telling what you're going to do is not something that you're supposed to do. That's not what street cats do. That's not what people do who are intelligent. Look at the story of the Prophet, peace be upon him, when he was about to conquer Mecca. When they had all their people and they were just going to come up in there and conquer Mecca. One of the companions of the Prophet, his name was Hatib ibn Abi Balta'a. He said, oh, y'all about to go conquer Mecca? I got family in Mecca. He sent a secret letter to the Quraysh and telling of Muhammad, peace be upon him, telling of his movements that, hey, he's coming to conquer Mecca, so I'm just giving y'all a heads up. And when he was confronted about it, he begged for understanding. He was explaining that he hoped that the Quraysh tribe would help protect his family who was residing in Mecca because they had no protection. So that's why he gave them a heads up. And your boy, our great brother, our great Sahabi, Umar al-Khattab, when he heard that, he came to the Prophet like, let me kill him. Nah, let me take his head off, please. And the Prophet told him, no, don't do that, because he fought at the Battle of Badr. He fought at the first battle, and maybe Allah has forgiven him for that. And, maybe he has some sincerity in his heart. So he let him slide with that. And they ended up still conquering Mecca, but that was very dangerous. That dude, Hatib, almost got himself killed because he wanted to go run his mouth and talk about what the next move is going to be. You're not supposed to do that. That could have messed up their whole plans. You're not supposed to do that. So this is why we have to be on the lookout, because what they're putting out now are Agent X's. They're not putting out the John Lewis's anymore. We have to keep our eyes peeled for the Agent X's. It's going to get worse before it gets better, people. Let's keep our eyes on the prize. Let's keep, ourselves in salah and keep ourselves in prayer and supplication. Let's keep increasing in everything that we need to do and staying on code. But that's all I wanted to come to y'all with for right now. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, this is Bilal of Black Muslim in America. Peace and assalamu alaikum.